So we need to be connecting with the organizations that we're supporting. And so a little universal look at some of our thinking is that a lot of these advisors had noted that several schools are adopting the United Nations Sustainable Goals, and we're actually right on the heel of the 3rd anniversary of those goals being adopted. And so you'll see a little bit of a thread of things inside of our workshops that we're doing where, for example, one of our table groups this year is titled Life on Land, which represents one of the sustainable goals, and the concepts that are embedded in peace and justice through our voting table and our immigration table, as well as poverty. That's one of the goals, the sustainable development goals that several schools are adopting as a way to look at some universal issues that are happening all globally. And we're going to be taking a little bit of a local spin on that, but I did just want to draw your attention to that because there are several initiatives that are going on globally that you might be able to connect with. One is Act for SDGs, and that is its own website as well, aside from the hashtag, that provides different global look at different projects that are happening all over the world related to all of those sustainable goals. And you can actually filter it by which sustainable development goal you're interested in, what country, and what type of organization you're looking to support, you're looking to interact with. So that's a global look at what we're doing locally. And the other thing, a new initiative that is coming out of the United Nations is called Youth 2030, and this is their plan to elicit more youth voice into the policy discussions and decision making that is going on at the United Nations. They've just hosted a January summit, and I believe we'll be doing so every year to have students be more at the center of some of the decision making that's going on to attain and meet these sustainable development goals by 2030. And that is a thread of today's meeting as well, student voice and a thread of service learning. So, so we today are taking a look a little more locally, a little more intimately of the process of service learning, and we're mostly focused on the investigation stage today. And so I want to set the stage with a story that I heard through a novel that I'm reading, and I want to use it as a way to kind of set the tone for today's meeting and why we want to focus on the investigation stage, why that is so essential to the service process. And so this story is set in a history classroom within the novel that I'm reading. And in the story, the students are talking about the same story from 2 different angles. They're investigating the past, they're learning about something in a history class, and they've come across 2 conflicting viewpoints, 2 conflicting stories. And this is what the teacher has to say about it. We cannot know which story is correct. We cannot know which story is correct because we were not there. This is the problem of history. We cannot know that which we were not there to see and hear and experience for ourselves. We must rely upon the words of others. But now we come upon the problem of conflicting stories. Whose story do we believe then? We believe the ones who have the power. He is the one who gets to write the story. So when you study history, you must always ask yourself, whose story am I missing? Whose voice is suppressed so that this voice could come forth? Once you have figured that out, you must find that story too. From there, you begin to get a clearer, yet still imperfect picture. So what I thought was that if you changed the words history in the document to community need, that it almost kind of had the same ring to it. That what we are looking to do through service learning is not just do some action, do some volunteer work, but to really truly investigate the community needs so that we can provide more meaningful, deeper, authentic service learning experiences. And so we chose the Community Action Forum as a way to hear different voices and be able to really dig deep as to what the community needs are that we need to address with our students. And so when we're thinking about the guiding questions today, two things that came to mind for me were, what stories do we seek? And the answer that we're putting forth today is that we are seeking the stories of our community partners, because they are the ones that have access to the real-time stories that matter around the service issues that we're investing in today. They are the ones that have direct interactions with the clients and that help advocate for their clients and speak for their clients. And by clients, I also mean our land and plants and animals, for those of you who are here for the environment. And that who might not have a voice otherwise, and how important it is that we use those community partners to get access to those truly authentic voices. And then the second question is, whose story do we tell? When we're invested in the investigation stage, I think it's very important that we consider how we can let the students tell the story of the community issue that they're unveiling, and that we're not just making assumptions and sharing what we think are the issues around a community need, but we help them be the ones to uncover the need by accessing community partners, and then letting them be the ones to tell the story of what they're discovering about what's occurring and what the pressing issues are. And so today, when we go through the Community Action Forum, we're going to be looking mostly at two main versions of action research. And the first being media, really because we are going to be using case studies as our way into learning about the pressing issues that we put forth today. And so thank you to the community partners who are here, who have helped us select the case studies so that they more authentically represent what we're interested in learning about. So we're using media as one of our tools for action research, and we're also using, not exactly interviews, but basically at our roundtables we are going to be in some ways interviewing our community partners to help us learn more about what's occurring. And the other two for future use that we haven't looked at so much this time around, but for future use we might, would be surveys and observations. Those are the other two forms of action research that can be used to truly unveil something authentic that we can address. And so today in the Community Action Forum, there are three things that we have found to be really powerful reasons why we're using this. And one is that it allows us a way to seek authentic real-time stories and allow for multiple perspectives to be heard. So we have a few different community partners that are here for our different topics so that we can hear about it from a few different angles. The Community Action Forums also give students agency to help write the narratives for the community issues that they're learning about. You'll find inside your packet of information that we have a few different resources and tools, and also an explanation of how this type of format can be used for students. Not for students, but that the students are using the Community Action Forum themselves to uncover social issues. So they are the ones that are connecting with partner organizations and nonprofits, and they are the ones that are reaching out to their school administration and saying, we would like to host a Community Action Forum at our school to uncover the pressing issues that we care about. So that's where some of the student-centered piece comes in, where we are allowing our students to do the talking. And I think this also gives us an opportunity using the Action Forum to validate organization-school partnerships. Because we're both looking to address concerns, and by giving them the time that they deserve to hear from them about what they're experiencing with their clients, we are giving them a voice as well, so that we know that we're making inroads to the issues that are occurring within their organizations. So that's the goal of today, and that we wanted to do it not just by telling you about it, by showing you, by letting you experience it. So we're going to let you have that active learning experience. We're going to give you a chance to delve into the Community Action Forum yourself. We're going to be hosting 2 different breakout sessions for about 30 minutes each. And what we're going to do first is once you've selected your first topic, there are 4 represented here today, then you will head to that table and we'll provide you with a case study that represents some of the issues around that topic. And you're going to spend some time just processing, reading the case study, and then you'll meet with 2 or 3 others at your table and just debrief what you read there and have some discussion about your thoughts on what you've read and make connections to it, all the good things that readers do. And then we're going to debrief whole group about what your smaller conversations were. And also, that is an opportunity for us to hear from the community organization representatives here today so that they can share their insights about what's missing, what's different than what is presented in the case study from what they're experiencing. And last but not least, we'll spend the last part of the breakout session discussing what the student action opportunities are. What are some service initiatives that student could engage in that are curriculum-based that would be able to address these needs authentically that the organization reps are sharing. So our 4 table topics will be immigration. We also have life on land, immigration in the front, life on land. We have the vote, and we have poverty. And we will spend 30 minutes at our tables uncovering these issues. Then you will have the opportunity to either stay at your round table and continue the conversation or move to a new round table. We will start the process over again, but if you're feeling very invested in that topic and you'd like to continue on, then you also have the option to stay. Otherwise, we'll indicate when we're ready to move to a new topic, and we'll repeat the process for other participants. And we'll see you back here after we're done with our breakout sessions.